Welcome to the first episode of Oz American Aces NRL edition. My name is Renee Gartner, and joining me throughout the year is going to be Aaron Woods, the Manly and Legend great. Well, actually, St George, Cronulla, Dragons.
He's a team whore.
Tigers.
Yeah,
Come on.
Tigers.
He's been around.
And the man who's going to be supplying all the dad jokes this year, the man, the myth, the legend, Ash Wicks. Welcome, gents.
Thank you. Hey, look at me
How
go.
good is. We're finally together.
I know, and just three Manly greats hanging out.
I know. Everyone's going to hate us, but we like it like that.
And it's great at the moment because Manly are winning.
I know.
So
One
we've got a bit of
game.
a chip on our shoulder.
One from one. I'll take it.
It's the whole
Stop the
hashtag of
season
one in a
now.
row. That was State of Origin we were part of many years ago.
Exactly right.
It's the theme.
2014.
Round one, I'm the most nervous person ever. I was sitting there and I was like, look, to be honest, I had a fair few beers before they started. I was fucking
like you.
nervous. I was like, oh my God. But it was, good weekend.
Are you saying you're nervous for the Manly game?
Yeah.
You would have been nervous for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
18-0 after 10
What, the
minutes.
run out?
Yeah.
Or whether the
Mate.
fireworks were going to go off?
I had two Cowboys guys behind me next to me, and after about 15 minutes, I was like, do you want me to validate your parking, fella?
Mate, I want to load up on Tommy Turbo Dally-M.
Yeah, okay.
I've got it.
Sorry,
I've
sorry.
predicted
This is a
that.
prediction
I know,
already.
sorry,
We're
I know,
already
but
jumping
I've
off.
got it in my notes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
That's
said
where
the
he
same.
read it from.
No, I didn't. I said Brooksy.
As a Manly fan, because I spoke to the crew before the game last time, and I said, how sick are you? And you guys would all be the same of hearing of Tommy stays fit.
Yeah, it's
Every year.
They've got depth now, though.
but that's probably the one knock on Manly at the moment.
Yeah.
But then I reckon with the form Cherry Evans has been in, it's sort of that little bit of like, is if Tommy's fit, Manly can make the top 8 or win the comp. But I think if Cherry's fit as well,
Yeah.
like, I think that knock about it's just Tommy, it's not just Tommy anymore.
Yeah.
And you got other players like Brooksy jumped in last year, made a huge difference to the side.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just taken one off the ruck and straight
happy
into
for
wherever
him.
he can.
So happy for my
It's
little
the
mate.
best to see, And like it just goes like also like you meet him, he's like one of the loveliest blokes. Yeah. It was when he came over, I mean all my mates were like, oh fuck, not Brooksy. But then you see him running around in the park, you're like, he's supposed to
He
be
just
there.
looks like a kid that got to like a party that he was invited to.
Yeah.
Like he just looks so happy.
But he's also the pressure he got from Tigers was unfair.
Yeah, he got a barbecue on the way out.
Oh, barbecue.
That he says he still hasn't used to this day,
Yeah,
mind
yeah,
you.
yeah.
So he got a barbecue off one at the Matty John show. He's used that beforehand.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, and
Out
that
of
was-
spite. He just didn't use the other one out of spite.
I thought it was still in the car park at Leichhardt.
I
How
would've
many
left it there.
retirement presents have you been given?
Well, the problem
house
is you got to be a good player to get one. So I never got one on the way out.
You got to be an ambassador for the game in Las Vegas. That's what you got
pretty
on the
cool.
way
I would
out.
take that.
That was a little reward.
Yeah, I think
Got to
so.
go, you know what my favourite part of that was? So we go over to do Daytona. We're probably about 30 metres from President Trump. We got frisked by the Secret Service for bringing a ball that we tried to give to him. They thought it was a bomb. So relax, guys, from Australia.
One
We're
thing
here
about
for a good
America
time.
is security is
Oh,
pretty top notch.
it's ridiculous.
With explosives especially.
But the favourite part, I got to go to a WWE live event, which for people listening, wrestling. And I'm a big kid. My little fella at home, Buster, we watch wrestling every week. Monday Night Raw. And mate, I was fangirling.
That was your fangirl moment. Was the
But you know, I'll
WWE.
tell you. So not many people know they've seen us at the event.
Yep.
But before it started, they go, "Do you want to have a feed? Like, are you hungry, big man?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm actually starving."
What do you reckon?
I was thinking, have a look at me, man. I want a good feed. But we go in and they take us to, mate, they eat healthy. So it was a beautiful feed. But I'm sitting there, so it's basically like I'm having a team feed with the rugby league side. Like I'm on their team dinner.
How good.
So I've got
is
wrestlers left, right, and
epic.
centre. I'm sort of like, I'm just like, oh, what am I doing? Like, I'm like, this is unbelievable.
Who was your favourite?
Probably you got to look at Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
He's the champion there at the moment, but just gave us his time.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, brother, you reckon you could take a photo with the NRL boy? He goes, yeah, no worries, man, no worries. And he did like, get to Vegas March 2, come watch the boys play.
That's
He had no
crazy.
idea what he was talking about.
It's like WWE. Look, I used to have a friend of mine who was like so obsessed with WWE, and he used to get so upset when I'm like, it's
yeah,
fake.
bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
My son's watching this, right?
Oh, sorry, Buster.
Excuse me, mate.
It's real. There's nothing fake about
Hey,
it.
we wrestle at home. It is real.
There's a heap of, there's a heap of Aussies in it too now, right?
Well, Grayson Waller. So
yeah, I met him actually. He's a Roosters fan.
He was at the game. Yeah, so he's a huge Roosters fan. He actually did a wrestling thing with James Graham in the past at a live Australian event. Yes.
Right, yeah, now I recall.
So he was a huge fan. He was actually really good to us. He took us around, introduced us to a lot of wrestlers. And yeah, he's like, it's so good to have some Aussies here, man. He goes, what they call footy over here, please.
Yeah.
So did you learn any moves to take home to actually beat Buster? Because I hear he's got a pretty good record
Well, he's got
against
good.
you.
I got some moves for the missus.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. She's
One
a
was
lucky
like
woman.
throw a leg over or something.
She's a lucky woman. Let me show you the suplex style.
I didn't call it a figure 4 leg lock for no reason.
What about some of the other things? I mean, you went to the opening of a brown paper bag over there. Like you literally worked
You were
at
at
that many.
everything.
I think you were at every single event.
It was so good. Like ice hockey, NBA.
Yeah.
Like a bucket list for me was watching LeBron James play.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
never thought I'd got the opportunity, or I never think I was going to do it because he's 40 years old now. And the game we went to, it was against Charlotte. And honestly, going into that game, he was injured. So we were told that he wasn't playing.
Oh, that sucks.
And then so we were sort of like, we'll just get there for tip off and be ready to go. And as we walked down, they introduced him and it was like LeBron James. And they come out of the huddle, does 1,000 handshakes. I'm like, bro, he's playing tonight.
How good.
Him and Doncic played again, Luka Doncic. So he just came from the Mavericks and we got to watch him live. Mate, he's a
That's
big
epic.
man.
He's
Yeah.
huge.
Like,
eh?
you look at the TV, they look like they're normal size. But when you're up, mate, I try to get close. But
Mate, do you look like a
Secchi's
midget?
Oh, mate. I was like,
Imagine what I'd look like next to him.
oh, bro.
He's he would have a presence, surely.
Oh,
Like,
massive.
People
And-
have an aura.
Yeah.
His aura would be.
Well, you
right
look
up
at,
there.
mate, the jerseys in the crowd, it was all James and Doncic. Like, that is just...
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Lakers, it was Miami Heat, it was Cleveland Cavaliers as well. So it's crazy how big of a profile and athlete he is over there.
You're our LeBron James.
What did you make of the hockey?
I got more jerseys.
Yeah, you do. You actually do.
Got him beat.
That's one stat you've got him on.
Got you, LeBron.
What did you make of the ice hockey? I love the enforcers
I was filthy.
because you didn't
No
get to play.
stink.
No fights?
No
What?
stink.
Devastating.
There is a whole doco on Netflix, or I can't remember which was, and it's all based on the enforcers of ice hockey, like the guys who literally just go on to fight.
fight.
And it is so good. I reckon you would have made a good enforcer.
You remember Steve Stifler from
Yeah.
American Pie? Sean William Scott?
Yep.
He's in a movie, it's called Goon. He is an enforcer on the
Oh,
ice.
yeah.
He cannot play hockey for rat's
Yeah.
ass, but he's a gunfighter. And from
It
that
is
fight.
so good.
It is so good. Like that, they're called goons, I think.
Yeah.
They're the ones who go out there. All I wanted to see was a bloke throw his kit
Yeah.
on the ground. And it happened a couple of times. We got close, and the fans like, get ready, and nothing happened. But they won. Las Vegas Golden Knights won.
Yep, perfect.
So it was good to see. I've watched them play a couple of times. Still no stink, but I've been there 2 times. I've had 2 wins. So,
Well, I mean, you could be the lucky charm then.
ooh, you never know. You know what? But the Americans do sport a lot
much
better than
better.
us.
Exactly.
Like just the build up, every break, and then even the chants.
Don't
like,
say it too late. We won't get invited to any game.
no, we want to pump the Aussies up. Like, we want to bring it to Australia.
Oh, it's like everything's apart. Like I think I've been to one NBA game at Madison Square Garden. I sat right at the back because I got a ticket on the day, and it was like a big party, and it was just a regular seat. It was a weekday.
Yeah.
And it's like they just do it so much better.
Yeah.
Like there's so
put
much more
effort- they put effort
experience in
into
it though. And I think like we need to. I mean, we probably don't have the budgets. They have the budget.
No.
Manly let off 3 fireworks. I'm like, no,
We had the pot bellies and the pot bellies.
And the pot bellies. Oh
They're
yeah.
going all right, Manly. They're working hard on their
Exactly.
half-time entertainment now.
Yeah, except for when Cyril came on, he was like, "How the fuck are you?" And they turned the power off.
Well, you know, I organised that.
Did you?
So I followed him on Instagram. He followed me back.
Oh,
and I was
it's a
talking to
love
him, hey,
affair.
brother, like, because I actually liked his music. It was mad beats when I was working out. And
Sick.
said, bro, like, he's from Northern Territory.
Is he?
Did you know that? He was
no.
from Darwinways, yeah. So I was like, bro, whenever you come to Sydney, he would love you to come down to Manly. And he goes, you know what? He took up the offer and I just put him onto a couple of people at the club.
Yeah.
And they organised it. But you know what happened? The sound system blew.
That's
Yeah.
right. It did
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Great timing, guys. He was like, "How the fuck are you?" And then it just went, and we were all like, I was sitting in the stands
That
across.
was the first time. That wasn't this week.
No,
That was
this
last year.
Yeah,
last
I was going to
year.
say,
Back
this is
in
last year, just
year.
for reference, yeah.
Because the Manly front office girls were like, "The pot bellies are coming."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Really showing your age?" They were good. It was
Yeah.
good.
Pot bellies are great.
We're
Yeah,
working on it.
they're epic.
for a park footy field.
Yeah.
they're putting it on, which is nice to see.
Well, if you're loving all the American sports chats that we've just been having, Tommy Sheridan and the Oz American Aces do have plenty of other podcast shows across our network as well as AFL as well too. But I still want to get into some of these Vegas stories while we're here.
Yes.
What was one of the best things, Ash, for you off field? You went over and, I mean, you found your mate.
I did. Oh, excuse me. Look, I got the late caller.
Yep.
I left in a hurry. I was like, my wife and kids too. But look, I was only there for 3 nights. It was like 18 hour each way for 3 nights. It was a long way. The night before I left, I was like, oh, just traveling 18 hours to do things I can do here.
Yeah.
But it's Vegas, right? You're like, there's something about it. You get stuck in the vortex, and like you do so much accidental exercise over there. Yeah. It's brutal. But I think for me,
Come on. What's accidental exercise?
Well, when you end up walking for
dancing, bro.
ages.
Oh, yeah.
Walking up and down the strip. It's a couple of memories I've got. I got to see Fisher finally live. I didn't go to the NRL after party. Sorry.
Yeah, I missed you there, man.
Yeah, sorry, man. I thought, like, look, I'm going to go see Fisher, and I weaseled my way into the DJ booth, so I couldn't I couldn't say no.
Were you with Braith in there?
It was me, Braith, Sammy Burgess, the Johns boys.
Because Cooper can get in anywhere.
100%.
Me and him the last 2 years we just weasel into whatever we can, and look, Burgess is just having a really good time. He was pretty tanked.
I think he needed to after the loss.
Yeah, and he was like, he picked me up and threw me over his shoulder, and I'm like what 95 kilos.
He's a big man, bar.
He is huge when you stand next to him. And so that was really, really good, but they wouldn't let me in even though I was on the guest list, because I wore shorts to the game. Because I was really hot. It was hot during the day.
Which is weird because last year it was freezing and blowing a gale.
Yeah. So I was like, the guy at the front recognized me too from socials, and I was like, just let us in, yeah. He's like, I can't let you in with short. So I had to go commandeer a cab, and I was like, hey, this is the situation. I need to get back to Circus from Omnia the back way. I'm going to run upstairs. I'll leave you with my phone, some collateral. And it was an F-250 ute with just a taxi sign on top.
They're like normal over there.
It was a bit dodgy. And I was like, just get it done. And then the back way. So he took me back through the artist's entrance of Caesar's Palace.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I got the proper treatment.
Whoa.
Yeah, through in and back up in this F-250. And I got my phone out to pay. And he goes, oh, no, it needs to be cash or a card. I'm like, oh, fuck, what? So I've been in this car for like 40 minutes. I've rang, Vici from Fox. Matt Veach. He's one of the cameramen. So one of the cameramen was out with.
Vici.
Yeah, same. I was like,
he's dead.
If you were seeing him, what were you on in Vegas?
Anyway, I had to ring him, like, come out the front. And he's like running down the street to pay this guy cash so I could get in. Eventually got in, and it was everything you could imagine it would be.
Yeah.
It was mental.
He's looking good, Fisher now, isn't
He's
he?
good with the hair, just fresh out of Turkey.
Yeah, real good.
He looks great. Yeah, and it's funny. He had a picture of his kid on the front of the D. So like he would be DJing, and he's got a big picture of his kid there. So that was a highlight. I think this year a big difference. I noticed a lot more young families.
Yeah.
Last year. No, it's from the Shire.
No, I hate that my mates took their young kids along.
We met this. I got us because I bought tickets to the game on the day because I was like, I tried to
risk it to get the
hang out with.
Hold on. So you've booked the flight with no tickets, so you might not be even going to the game.
I would have got in there one way or another.
Have you met him?
America's got nothing on me, bro.
Sneaky little rat.
I slither in there.
Those stadiums are hard to get into, man.
Yeah,
checks.
It's not that hard when all the Warriors are walking out upset. You're sneaking underneath them.
I don't know the Warriors fans this early in the piece.
They just left so quick. But so I bought 2 tickets for me, and the security detail took with me, and it was like the cheapest ticket, $30, which is pretty good. It was way at the top. And I was like, oh, whatever. Like, because that stadium's so great. You can walk around.
It's beautiful.
Promenade,
It's
and you can see the
It's
footy
insane.
for no one's really on their seats.
Yeah.
Unless you're in like really good seats. And I was headed up to the top seat with my mate, and there was a guy from the Shire holding 2 big things of popcorn. And I was like, where you get all this popcorn from? And then he was going, I was like, where are you guys sitting? He's like, well, he booked a ticket for him and his family way up the top too, because it was cheap. And then he didn't realise how tall the stadium was. His wife's deathly afraid of heights.
Oh, that's not good.
And I was like, oh, fuck, what did you do? And he goes, I spoke to one of the securities, and they gave us a full disability platform 1 level up from the field. It was just them. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And he was like, are you afraid of heights? I'm like, I am now.
Yeah.
Went down there with him, and the lady was like, oh, do you have tickets? I was like, yeah, but they're way at the top, and I'm really afraid of heights. And she was like, come on in.
Oh.
You're kidding.
Anyway, they had drink service. They had the whole thing. So I paid $30 for a $500 ticket. It was brilliant.
Oh, stop it.
You're
that's
a mad
outstanding.
And I love it. It's the
Thank
best.
Do you reckon we should put a challenge out to him for what's the best thing he can sneak into this year?
I think that'll be a great challenge.
Last year was the year of the Weasel. I think I got onto the NRL stage in Vegas.
On the stage?
Yeah, gave a footy away on stage. What else did
What?
I do? I got into a booth with Tiesto last year and got left with a $25,000 American bill, but left it and ditched. And then
Whoa, 25,000
yeah,
American.
it worked out. Someone else worked it out. But the guy who had the booth, who I'd like schmoozed my way in, spewed up everywhere, and they got rid of him. And they bring this bill out. It was like as long as my arm, and it was like $25,000 American for this booth. And I was like, jumped the booth, legged it towards the exit, and then someone's grabbed me, and then they were like, "No, we've got a credit card on file. You just had to sign it." I was like, "Oh, fuck." So that would have been my whole trip. And then, look, the Weasel. Last year, the Weasel was great. Like,
So I reckon we got to come up with an event this year that
Yeah.
Ash has got to sneak into.
Yeah.
And we want him to have American Aces, Oz Aces.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oz
One
American
last
Aces,
year was
yeah.
in Vegas. Lachlan Murdoch. Did you see Lachlan Murdoch over there last year?
He was there, yeah, front row.
He was walking
Yeah.
the field with, and I had no idea who Lachlan Murdoch was.
You're kidding.
No idea, right?
What do you mean?
I'm on the field.
Have you been living under a rock?
Yeah, I'm on the
Sarah
field.
Head, you know who she was?
No idea.
It's the wife, mate, the wife.
I was like,
She's the hair.
Oh,
the
yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? The hair.
I know now. I was on the field and I saw this guy walking with I thought it was like him and 6 of his mates, but they were his security detail. And I just threw him a KO footy and he caught it and came over and got a photo with me. And then as he walked off, Fox and that were like, "Do you know who that was?" And no one would go near him because they were too afraid.
scared, yeah.
And I was like, "Nah." And then I don't know if you were part of the email chain when we got back from Vegas last year from head of Fox here saying what a great job everyone's done. And I replied all saying, just another day in the office, and put a photo of me and Lachlan Murdoch. And just left it.
No, I didn't see it.
Have you not seen it?
No.
Oh, it was great, yeah.
We'll have to get that one up for socials,
Yeah.
that picture.
I have to find it. Yeah, I have to find it. It would be in my email somewhere. But I was sitting there with Maddie, and I'm like, should I reply all? And he was like, yeah, go on. And you look at the list, and it's like, obviously, Maddie, Braith. There was 130 people on this email
That's a
chain.
great get, too.
That's a get.
That was great, yeah. And then,
Did
obviously.
you have a conversation with him or just took a photo and that was it?
I think I just was like, nice to meet you, mate. Come, enjoy
Can I
the
have a
game.
job?
Enjoy the game.
Can you
Grabbed
weasel
a
me
photo
into
with
a
him.
corporate-
Me and Maddie got a photo with him, and he's holding the football, and then that was it.
Yeah, and the Broncos, the Storm, and
Does he? I have no idea who he was.
part of all that.
I had no idea who he was. Anyway, we'll see what I can get into
No,
this
you do.
year.
All right.
So
Well,
far, so good.
I expected a few more stories from Vegas, but we'll keep it PG by the sounds of things.
Yeah, you're best to.
But
yeah.
I think what's good that's come out of this is we've worked out that we need to do an event, and find out how we weasel Ash
Yes.
into an event
yeah,
this year.
yeah, I'm keen.
Yeah.
Harder the better, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just load me
Yes.
up with a few scoons.
So
and
we're
send
just
me
going to
in.
start asking for your additions, and we'll decide. We'll maybe give it a month to give it some legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be good.
Round 4.
And get him holding a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or just like the tattoo of Oz American Aces across you, and
I can't.
and
I've got
just
no space
weasel
here.
and weasel it.
He's
weasel
all
it
covered
back.
up, mate. He's all covered up.
We'll work something
yeah,
out.
true.
But I'm
You've
keen
got
to
your
weasel
little
into
ink
whatever
there.
you guys want me to weasel into.
Well, we're going to jump into the next segment, and it's basically, Ash, what you loved this last week that's gone, and I think I know the answer
I think it's
for it.
already pretty obvious.
Yeah.
It's good to see a fit Tommy Turbo, isn't it?
Oh, mate. Honestly. And just see him happy. You
Yeah.
can tell when someone's happy and looks refreshed. That's
Yeah,
Tommy.
the Trebojeviches quite often come to the cafe that I go to, and it's great to see him looking happy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're all fit. They're all getting about the community, and to finish a year without an injury. Then he played for Australia. He also did Origin last year. They won the series. Just a really good year for him to get himself looking right. And then he was just a pest. But he did fuck my multi up.
Oh.
Didn't score a single try.
You think when they put on 50 points, he's at least going to get one.
He was
The amount of people that were texting me going, would Tommy stop passing the
know.
ball?
Well, that's what I was going to say. He's too good of a bloke that he just literally. Man, have you seen how many times he passes Jake over the try line?
Oh, yeah.
I used to hate it because Jake would be on a nude run with me, and then he'd just give it to him over the try line. Come on.
Was he
Tommy.
favouring the brother?
When's the
over you,
last
mate?
time you scored?
I can't remember, man.
How many nudie runs have you done?
2.
2. Okay.
2. But you know what? It's not like it used to be. Mobile phones have ruined everything.
Yeah.
True.
Can't have a good time.
You can't. Yeah, that's true. But
Is
anyway,
that the worst thing that the nudie run's been taken away, or?
Mate,
That's the worst thing.
The best part about, the best part about Mad Monday.
Yeah. Okay.
So most of the people like to come fancy dressed. The best time is when you got to take the fancy dress off.
nice.
Yeah. Oh.
On a golf course or something.
Oh, our first one I ever did. Well, I didn't have to do it because I
You
scored.
just love getting nude. By the
But I
sounds of
scored. It was
things.
in 2011 with the West Tigers. So we were in the I was going to say the gentleman's club. We were in the chairman's club at the top of Leichhardt Oval.
thing.
Yeah, at the top of Leichhardt Oval.
Yeah.
And we had the whole place locked down. So it was just us,
Yeah.
the security at the front. And when it come time for the nudie runs, we all literally sat in the grandstand and watched the 6 boys that had to do the nudie run. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
It would be super funny to have it at like Wentworth track or something.
Yeah.
and let
Oh,
them do the-
And winner gets something. You're like,
Yeah,
Just
put a
imagine
muzzle
all
on
the nudie
all of
runs
them. a
from
little-
every club have to turn up on this Mad Monday
Yeah.
and do the nudie run in Wentworth.
That would be
I would pay.
televise it. Fox.
Points bet, please.
Points bet. That'd be great. We could commentary that. Yeah, it'd be great.
I'll tap out of
Jeez,
commentating.
that's
on that
three-legged-
one.
rugby league people are weird, aren't we?
The annual 3-legged race.
Hope it's not too cold.
Anyway,
go.
manly.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry.
Sidetrack.
Got sidetracked. Look, obviously Tom was amazing. Poor Dearden. I just want to say he got absolutely targeted, and then he copped that shoulder from Olakot. I'd be dead. You'd have to
yes.
body bag me off.
And you got to remember, like, the lead up was watching that big hit from Hamoli Olakawatu
Yeah.
on, I think it was
In
the
the
Matty John
social
show.
media.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Leon
I think
from
it was.
one of them.
Poor
Yeah.
Leon.
That
Oh.
was just a nightmare. Mate, imagine what Tommy Dearden was thinking lining up all week. Like, Toddy Payton's probably given orders, let's get up in Olakawatu's face. Let's try to stop the momentum. Mate, if you're a metre or 10 metres, it's not going to make a difference.
If I'm coming up against Manly or coming up against him, I'm just having that video in the video session and saying, "See this? Avoid this."
Yes.
Because he came in the second half. He came at Dearden and hit him, and he flattened
His
him
soul
out.
left his body.
It was unfair because it was like he shoulder charged with the ball.
A little bit.
If
It's completely legal.
If Tommy Dearden's doing that defensively, he's getting 3-week suspension.
Totally.
Yes.
But he's not tall enough to
Yeah.
do that.
And
defensively.
Hamoli's got a ball in one hand, and he just shoulder charged the other side.
He was
I
just
love
running it straight.
and
Running it straight.
There was like some footage. There was some footage of them targeting him down that short side just after, and the look on his face when they went short side and went straight past him, and he was like,
They're those instances like glad rugby league's over.
He's tough, man. He is tough.
Oh, a great player.
He is tough.
And you know what? I'll tip them to bounce back next week. But when Manly are in a mood, they're like one of the hardest sides to stop. Once they got momentum, like you just look at the players we've mentioned in the show. You got Tommy Turbo, you got Cherry Evans, you got Luke Brooks.
Stacked.
The wingers are so quick. Leo Hopewadi's come from nowhere. Jason Saab is the quickest in the competition.
Yeah.
They can score from everywhere on the field.
Yeah, and Lehigh just keeps pulling stuff out of his ass. Like I remember sitting there. I was at the opposite end of the field when that play came on, and I'm like, "Here's a big kick from Cherry," and I just see it come down. I'm like, "Who is that?" And he's just like, "It's none other, mate." And he just silky hand. That is my high, big high. Actually, one of my highs of the game was Twinkle Toes Toff Sipley.
Oh yes, front row getting
Yes,
off the
yeah.
love it.
Just a solo effort of a try. And just no doubt.
I was
he had no
disappointed.
doubt in his mind he was
confidence was
scoring. It was
definitely
funny.
there.
I saw him getting out of the pool in Warriewood
Yep.
earlier that day. Well, I was just walking with the kids, and he lives in a complex down in Warriewood. And he was, come out. He's just pretty much in his speedo walking down. God, he's looking fit.
He's a big man.
He's a big guy.
He's dropped a bit of weight.
He's
that's
looking
what it was
fit,
saying.
and then he goes out and he does that, and that was like when he scored that try. I'm like,
I was disappointed in his reaction. Front rowers don't score many tries.
they don't know what to do.
That was a great try. And
He
it was
should
round
have
Maybe
one.
you should
money.
have taken the book, like a page out of the book of St. George, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
I'll save that for later on.
That was my high, but we could talk about Manly until the cows come home. My low, and everyone's probably thinking it's Parramatta. Look, that was low. That was low for Parramatta.
Well, they're not your low.
No, look, I think that they're their own problem. So I don't want to.
I think we
I don't want to
expected
pile on
it.
top.
We expected that, didn't we?
I didn't.
I didn't expect that. I expected them to show
Really?
a bit more.
Yeah, not with Riles. I was expecting more from them.
Yeah, but without Mitchell, Ryan Madison.
Yeah, I
but the
suppose. I guess
defence
I was living on hope that Rilesy was going to.
I just think Melbourne is.
Well, yeah, I know
They're
Melbourne
scary.
are epic and they
Yeah.
are scary, but I just kind of did expect a little bit more from
Parramatta
them. I
looked
didn't
good.
expect them to.
Parramatta look good. They were
I think
great.
half time, Dylan Brown made the call. I'm coming to Newcastle.
Yeah, it was a text. I heard
basically.
it was a text.
Oh.
It was a text. He was like, fuck.
You still got that contract there?
Yeah.
Sign it now, please.
He runs out in a Knights jersey.
I think he just ran past with the water to his manager on the sideline and went, sign it.
Yeah,
He's doing these ones.
I know. It was.
Maybe that was the secret handshake.
Maybe. It was. Look, that's not my low. My low was, and it was because my expectations were on the Tigers.
Oh, really?
Look, my expectation was I really want to see them do well.
Yeah.
Romy's really grown on me since moving. Like Penrith, like you got to respect Penrith in every aspect of the game. But with him, he obviously a couple of years there where everyone's like, they're arrogant, isn't it? But he's showed his true colours with the stuff he does with the fan in and around the club. And I wanted to see them do really, really well. And they just felt like they lacked direction. They missed too many tackles. I found myself at the end of that game going, that sucked. Like that footy game sucked. And it was like, Knights weren't that much better.
Yeah.
And it could have gone either way, but I feel like they've got a lot more to give. And they were missing Appy, which is a lot of your direction, a lot of you go forward. They were just like back and forth. It was such a mess. And it was a real low. I thought, and it's probably my own fault for being like, I want them to be I want them to win round one, go into round two, win
That's
round two.
your old Balmain brain, though, because you've got a bit of history with Balmain,
With my
don't
old
you?
man, and it's like, and I would imagine if he was in Queensland, so he had no power, he couldn't watch it at all.
Well, it's probably a blessing.
Yeah, it was a blessing. I can imagine he would be the same, like wanting after 3 wooden spoons, you want to see them give it a crack.
I think
which they will. I think
the Luai, you can show he's improved the side already. And the knock on him was obviously the cocky and arrogant, but it's just confidence. And if he was cocky or arrogant, he wouldn't talk to fans the way he has.
Exactly.
His fan engagement's phenomenal. Every kid loves him. He's bought into the club, so I think he's got a tiger necklace that he wears absolutely everywhere.
He's a typical guy that puts everything into it,
Yeah.
and you love it or you hate it. And with the Panthers, it was so easy to hate him because they're winning everything.
Yeah, it's
right?
frustrating.
But now you're like, okay, it's kind of like when Mitchell Pearce went to the Knights.
Yes.
Or when Brooksy went to Manly.
The people's champion. And you see when Pearcey went there and like just played good footy and he was in and around the club, obviously with Jerome, he comes from, winning so many grand finals, and then he brought the energy there, a bit like Critter.
Yep.
And I want to see them do really, really well.
And the thing with the Tigers, right, Ash, is that they've lost for the last, not just 3 years, but last probably 5-6 years. They're used to losing. So they got themselves in a situation where they're not used to being there. They were winning 8-0, then 8-6. Luai has been brought to the club for that, and that's where I had hope. His kicking game was probably off. Galvin, they're still learning the combination. He's been injured a lot of the preseason.
Yeah.
He's only done a week or two with the team. I think for where they were, like I was a bit like you. I was a bit like all that effort and 52 missed tackles to still be in the game, but lose that. Like you walk away from that going, you're pretty disappointed. But that is a big improvement for the West Tigers. Like if that was last year, I reckon that game blows out and Newcastle probably put 20 or 30 on them.
True.
But don't you think that's scary that that's an improvement on their defence? Last year, their missed tackles were probably up at around that 60 mark plus.
I think for a round one, definitely, Renee, and 52, like that's
not first grade.
concerning.
Yeah.
That is really concerning.
It could have been so many more points. You're right.
And I think Newcastle left 3 or 4 tries just in that first half. Like Bradman Best almost. Like he still had a decent game for Bradman Best, but for his standards,
he was pretty good.
He probably almost won the game for the Tigers. Yeah. Even the one where they found Greg Marjorie to score, he tried to flick it. All that it was just do a new 2-hands pass. That's just no footy under your belt as of late. But I think the Tigers can only improve. But, geez, you look at who they're playing this week. That is one of the high-pressure games that's only round 2.
They're playing the Eels, aren't they?
They're playing the Eels.
What do you make of Galvin potentially walking out the door too?
Well, I watched a couple of moments in the game, and you can take this how you want it. The reaction with Luai and Galvin, there was times in the game, and Galvin, you got to remember he's a young kid. He's 18. He's coming into first grade. He's still learning the ropes of how to not just guide a side, but how to get to certain spots on the field. See, at times for me, Tigers look lost.
Yeah,
look like they lacked a bit of direction, and you're going to get that this week with Appy Coruscant back. But there was one where they made a line break through the middle. I think Galvin found, Talon De Silva for offload. They got tackled just short of the line. And then if Galvin looks up, probably finds Jerome Luai unmarked, but he just took off himself, got tackled, and then tried to flick it. They did get the ball back in the 6 again. But if you watch the replay, Luai sort of grabs him and sort of basically, you can see, mate, stop playing for yourself.
Yeah, okay.
So how you take that is going to be, especially, that's round one.
Yeah.
People can say that's Luai trying to help him. How's Galvin going to take that criticism on board? They're the things that I'm really interested to see how they grow over the season with those two.
It'd be good if they can hold on to him. Like Galvin's like you said, so young.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
So
He's a
much
junior.
potential. And like he's got a similar, like when he grows into his body, because he's not quite there
Mate,
yet,
but
right?
he's a big lanky thing.
Yeah, he'll be a bit like Tom. Like Tom,
Or Lehigh as well too.
Tom is like, he's getting to like that age where he's filled in a
Yes.
bit. He's so hard to tackle. Galvin, similar build maybe. If he grows into it like that, he could be such a good running.
I'll tell you one thing. Watch Galvin, how much meters he like covers in a field. It makes me tired watching him.
I'm going to write that down. Check it for you.
He's one of the fittest blokes I've ever seen. Like he's
I've been
18. I'm telling you, but he can run, mate. Like he doesn't look like he ever gets tired. It's unbelievable.
right.
Well, what do you
Me
know?
either.
What it'd be like? Yeah, you don't get tired either. Not after Vegas. You know what it's like now coming through. You've been a junior player and you've been a senior player. The perceptions, the attitudes change a lot by players at the moment now as well too. How hard is it for an 18-year-old who's had pretty good success coming straight into the game to listen to a more senior player and do what he's told or also back himself as well?
I think the thing with Lockie that's hard is that Jerome wasn't there last year.
Yeah.
And look, he's, like you said, he's had all that success with Westfield Sports. Coming through the West system, mate, there's always been this talk of, Lachlan Galvin, Talon De Silva. I think it was Kidioni Laulihi as well. There's got a really good base of players. And he was the first one to go up. I think Talon come up then, Lockie. He's proven that he can be a special player in the NRL. But the big thing about NRL is it's the consistency.
Yeah.
Like you can come up first year, not many people know too much about you. They do your homework. But then when you get the second season and third season, NRL coaches, assistant coaches, scouts, they pick up, your weaknesses.
Yeah.
And then when you do your video, like I'm sure he's doing a lot of work at the moment on trying to better his game, how to transfer different things from other people's game to his game. But the hardest thing is just the week to week. It's the grind. It's backing up. It's wanting to be better every day. And from what I've heard at the Tigers, mate, he is just in there and working his backside off. So it will turn. And the thing is, a lot of fans, it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
We're going to see results slowly, but I reckon by the end of the day, I don't think they'll get the spoon this season. I think there's a couple other sides that are in trouble low, and I think they will make progress.
Well, before we go on to your multi for the week, I think it's a good question to ask both. Who do you think's taking the spoon out? Ash first.
Oh, look, originally I said the Cowboys. I'm probably just coming off the back of the win going, they're going to fucking come up. But Aaron made a really good point about them playing at home and they'll win a couple of games at home. But is it going to be enough?
It's a tough trip because North Queensland, 3 hours, you've got the Mad Cow afterwards.
Greatest pub ever.
Can
Yeah.
be a
I might
great,
go
that, can
this
be,
year.
that can be a great incentive for sides as well.
I might go this year when Manly play up there.
Another
It's-
thing
I got
to
a bunch of
weasel
mates
into.
It was
going.
always
Yeah.
one on the calendar I'd always circle.
I've got a couple of mates going this year, but it's like pretty close to Magic Round, I'm pretty sure. But,
Just go from there to Magic Round or Magic Round to there.
all right, you convinced me.
Hey, your wife
we
is
might
going
get
to
a
be
couple of
that
events
far
for you.
off you. Yeah.
You know what? I reckon, I looked at it last week. Mitchell Moses, we don't know how long he's out for. 6 weeks?
Yeah, okay.
Could be longer. Parramatta at $10. I think that's for the spoon. I think that's, and then after what I saw on the weekend, I think that could firm up a little bit
Okay.
lower.
I don't know.
But they've got class there too. But like, you know what?
So hard to pick after round one.
But the
Yeah,
other
but this
thing
is
is,
we're going to put you on the spot.
a lot of the
Because
sides.
this is where the money's made, is picking a wooden spoon an hour.
But you got to look at a lot of the sides. A lot of sides have got a bit better. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
normally there's that one or two sides you go, oh, they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, people would probably tip the Tigers to come last the last couple of years. I don't think there's an individual, like, team that you could just go, oh, no, they're definitely going to get the spoon.
There's not. No, you're right.
It's a tough field.
Okay, well, who's in your battle for the spoon then? If you can't pick one, who's your bottom
I've got
four?
Para.
I think you still got to.
Knights?
Still got to put the
Would you
Tigers
put Knights
down
in
there
there?
somewhere.
I reckon.
I hope not.
Knights only if they lose Ponga. If they have Ponga, I think they can be a top 8.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
They're that type of side. He's that good of a player. He's so influential.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Cows or Para.
Cows and look, I was thinking Raiders leading to the season.
Forgot about the Raiders.
But what I've seen Magic round in their trial form, mate, Ricky's got them flying. They look fast. They look fit, strong.
As long as they stay out of elevators.
What about the Wires?
Well, I'm about to say,
Yeah.
is it
the Kiwi
down the
comes straight
wires?
up.
No, we still want up the wires.
Up the wires, yeah.
Like for a team that lost so many games last year, I don't think they won a home game. And
The whole year?
They sold out every single home game,
Yeah.
including in rugby territory.
It's remarkable.
I love Webby. I think he's a great coach.
He's a great mate of mine too,
He's
yeah.
an absolute legend.
I will say though,
I really hope they don't.
They're lost in Vegas. Because once you go into the stadium over there, you can't leave. So I went a bit late because they had content to shoot, and they just lost.
Are you a
I'd
content
watched it.
creator?
No, I'm an influencer. and I was walking to the stadium, and they were just coming out in piles because they were just so disappointed, and they were like,
It was.
they were a bit butthurt.
Well, because I can't say it's our year anymore. Like I think that's been on. I think that's a risky thing to put anywhere anyway, and they had it all over the ball.
They've got to find a way to get Tuivasa-Sheck into some good opportunities, not just as a battering ram from the other end of the field, 20 carries come off your line. They need to get him into some open space, one-on-ones. If they can find that, get the balance. I think Tamari Martin, they need to play him.
But are you going to give them another couple of weeks of securing that halves? Because you can't keep chopping and
Look what happened
changing.
to Newcastle last year with the halves. They kept making... I'd be nervous if I was a half going to that side.
Yeah.
Webby's got to show faith in Metcalf and Harris Tavita. But I'd probably have Tamari Martin on the bench.
14.
Yeah.
I like that.
14.
I love that Metcalf.
I love Mets.
that
He's a good
place,
mate
yeah.
of mine. He's adjusting to being a half. It's a lot different. But the only thing with Mets that's hard is that he's a runner first.
Yeah.
Organiser second. So now he's just got to get that right balance. And it's very hard, especially when you've lost someone like Sean Johnson, who Sean used to be a runner first and then later on in his career become that organiser. So it doesn't happen overnight. It just comes with experience. And it's up to Webby if he's going to keep him there. That's the biggest one. You got to show faith in those halves. And I dare say that I'll show faith back.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'd hate to see the Warriors get the spoon. I would hate to see it.
No, I love the Wires.
You know
I've got
who
such a
I'd
soft
love to
spot
see
for
get it?
the
They
Wires.
won't get it. Is the Chooks.
Yeah.
They're too good. Like
That would be.
Look, because we were talking off air about coaches that are probably going to be under the spotlight, and I was even working with Boyd Corner last week.
Boydie.
He's got hope. He's got faith in the side, but I just went. Robbo's got to come under a bit of pressure
my
this
thing
year.
is,
like,
it's a tough year for him.
yeah.
What do you do?
Again, a great bloke. Again, a great bloke,
His
but-
first year, like everyone goes, he won a comp first. Yeah, I understand. And like, you got to remember that Roosters side that he inherited. Brian Smith got a lot of those blokes to the club. Like, I'm not saying that Robbo's under fire or anything, but I'm just saying this is his first real big test as a coach. That first year, they signed James Maloney, Sonny Bill Williams, Michael Jennings. They're three marquee signings to get to a club.
Imagine signing those three.
Mind you, you're already at the club, had Mitchell Pearce, Jared Weir-Hargraves, Boyd Cordner,
It's
guys.
a bit like Kevy Walters. Like think of the side he had, and like how do you spill the beans?
Oh, mate. And all you got to do is go out there and just tell them, it's
They
not hard.
pretty
Keep
much
them happy.
coach
Run the
themselves.
ball,
They've got
yeah.
so much senior player on that. You got Adam Reynolds there, like
He's going to keep the boys happy.
just coaches himself.
Yeah.
The thing that worries me about the Roosters is we know how much of a defensive-orientated coach Robbo is.
Yeah.
And to leak 50 points in the way they did leak it,
And
that's
now
a
they've
bit-
got no Victor Radley. He's
and
gone.
he's a
and then
weapon.
was it Nat Butcher was the
I
backup?
think
He's
he's had
out.
surgery.
He's still indefinitely for a non-football
and
injury.
Spencer's back this week.
Yeah.
bro.
Potentially. This is to the team announce on Tuesday, so we will miss that, but potentially.
I believe... I know they've lost Keary, they've lost Manu. I just think that Jared Weir-Hargraves' loss is massive.
huge.
Like that's an alpha male and one of the best to play the game in this NRL modern era. Like he's one of the best modern day front rowers. He's done it for such a long period of time. He's one of those players that if you sit in the sheds and you look, you got Jared Weir-Hargraves there, you feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go to war.
Yeah, and he would be the one that makes the first move.
Exactly.
You
right.
wouldn't have to worry about. You wouldn't even have to worry. The only thing with Jared is if he gives away too many penalties, and that's what you want from those sort of front rowers. He's that alpha male that crosses that line, and once you do cross that white line, he'll do absolutely anything for you. And I just think they're lacking him at the moment.
Yeah.
Or someone of his presence.
I thought maybe Lindsay would have stepped up a bit more in that first game, but he was second guessing himself. I felt like he dropped the ball in the first carry.
Yeah, it was a statement made by the Broncos.
Big time. And look, you can't sit here and say the Roosters they're gonna have a tough year,
Yeah.
but they'll win some games.
They'll
win some
win
games.
games.
They're not going to be going spoons.
You got Tedesco
Exactly
in your
right.
team.
You got
like-
Tedesco. You got Ted in your team. Look, Chad didn't have the greatest game. His kicking game seems to be.
but he'll get him around the
But
park.
he'll start to.
You got Lenu coming back.
You got Walker coming back. When's Walker back? He's a while.
He's Walker, Brendan Smith, the cheese. You got Angus Crichton still there. Like
Yeah.
they've got players.
They've got plenty on the
I
table.
think they'll be
on the
borderline
bench.
8. I think everyone's
It'd
like,
be
they're not gonna
criminal
make
if
the
they
eight.
won a wooden spoon. It'd be a crime.
Oh yeah, that'll be.
It would be.
It'd be great to see, but it just wouldn't happen.
Oh, everyone in the NRL would love that.
I'd love to know what
It
the
was
odds
like when
are.
everyone wanted Manly to get, like they all want to. Everyone loves to hate these
Why,
teams.
but like,
Yeah.
Manly's such a great.
Well,
like, we
'cause
got the
they're-
We're
they've
Australian.
been
We love
known-
to hate success.
Yes,
But
and they've
Trbojevic,
been
like,
known
how
as
can
the
you hate the
silver.
Trbojeviches?
I know, but it's
I
just
understand Cherry. Like people, they can get on not the Trbojeviches. Come on.
I hate
can
Cherry.
understand
I love
What about
Cherry.
you,
No,
New South
no.
Welshman?
I love Cherry.
Yeah, I think like
Just not what he's doing right,
if
does he?
somehow it's if you're doing really well, that
It's the tall
people
poppy
hate you.
syndrome.
Tall poppy,
Mate.
big
Yeah.
time, and it's not going to change.
Fuck people, mate. Like, you
But
know,
it's
they
we've,
just hate us.
People
we've
hate me.
Yeah. We've absorbed the DNA of what our fathers thought of teams. Like Sharks
Fully.
and Roosters and Manly were 3 teams because they were beaches teams. They were known to have money to buy good players.
Cashed up bogans.
Yeah, cashed up
West,
bogans.
felt
Yeah.
sorry for him. Silvertails.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
Fibro, sorry.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Fibros,
Like-
yeah. All right, we are going to our next segment, and it is called Woods You Back It. Nice little play on words.
Great
I like
play
the
on words.
great Aaron Woods.
Did you
Great
come up
word.
with that?
I think Renee did.
Did
didn't
you?
No, well, yeah.
She's the
All right,
brains.
give her a pay rise. Give her a pay rise, guys.
No, it wasn't me. It's the great men at PointsBet have thrown this one in because you had an outstanding week last week.
I did.
Yeah, there is something that you're going to get put on report for with it, but I would absolutely like to bathe in your glory
We'll do the report
first.
after.
Yeah.
I'd love to just pump up how good my bets were.
Yeah.
What we'll do
we'll
is
go for it.
you'll let you pump yourself up, and then Renee will bring you right back down.
I'll run it
okay.
straight.
All right.
I'll
Yeah.
wall you.
So with my first bet Thursday night,
Yeah.
not the opening game of the round, but it was the opening game on Thursday because we had the Vegas round.
Yeah.
We had Brisbane Broncos come up against the Roosters, and I just thought Broncos, Madge, he'd have them fired up. There'll be morals to have a great win. So I had Broncos minus the start,
Yeah.
which I think was 8.5. I think it was
Okay. This is your bet. You and
with
I think you're right.
Selwyn Cobbo to score a try,
okay.
anytime try scorer.
He was
And
outstanding.
the points overs to be 50.5 of the match total. And then
What did you know that we didn't know?
And the thing was, right?
We'll lead us to our
what
next
I- what-
segment.
but what made me really nervous when I turned the game on, it was pouring down raining. So I was like, oh, here we go. This
is not
I
gonna be
should have
high
went unders. I
scoring.
should have
Yeah.
went unders for sure. And it was so funny. So they come out to a great start after half time, as teams do. When they got a good lead, they sort of just pull back. And we got to so Broncos are winning well. Cobbo scored, but we're at about 44 points. And then they scored another try to make it 48, and he misses the conversion. And I'm like, oh no, here we go. But then
Had him sweating.
Roosters ended up scoring a couple tries late, and then got that one easy. So I was home. I was texting the boys at points, but how good's this? The big
weren't
fella's on
texting
fire.
us.
No.
Hey,
I
come
think
on,
we
mate.
got
I didn't
the
want-
text after
We'll
the
talk
game.
about that
I
after.
didn't want to blow it too early, just in case. I was pretty
didn't want to
excited.
shut the gate.
Then I had to do another one on Friday for the Tigers and Newcastle game. So I've gone the Newcastle Knights head to head. It was a little bit. I was going to say I was very nervous on that game, so I wasn't sure on minus to start. I had Drew Skelton, new recruit to the Tigers, to score, which he scored the first try of the match. So that was one done. And then I had Greg Marju to score as well. But the worst thing wasn't, if you watch the first half, Bradman Best goes down the short side. All he had to do was just simple catch pass. Passes it 10 metres behind Marju and misses it, goes over the side. I'm going, I'm done. And then Marju gets the match-winning try, but geez, it made it hard. Bradman Best flicked it again. And remember, he went down the sideline and the back of his boot just missed the white touch line.
Yeah, and it's
And
funny
I'm like,
'cause
mate, just please give it a try. Please give it a
The
try.
peaks and troughs.
everyone in the crowd, obviously, they're always
Oh,
he was
boo.
out.
Yeah.
He was out.
And he can clearly see he was in.
Of course
gets
he
the
was.
try, and then I had to hang on for the head-to-head win, which I did get, which they both paid nearly $7.
Wow. So how much were you raking in that weekend?
Enough.
Your shout, is it?
Enough.
Yeah.
Your shout, is it?
So on report.
What?
Well,
I've
that's
just,
a-
I've just
a
got
segment.
2 winners.
Well,
Sorry, well done.
No, that's fine. I
Gamble
didn't,
responsibly,
just
by the way.
for the listeners out there, I didn't.
We were
win a
pumping you up
single-
beforehand. Now it's time.
Yeah.
I didn't
Now
win a
it's-
single multi.
It's not my fault.
I missed out on Tommy Turbo.
Yeah, there's 2 people on report here. One didn't do anything.
Couldn't back a winner.
Don't back when I'm back. What I'm backing.
So whatever Ash says, go
do the
opposite.
opposite. Oh, surely Tommy Turbo. I had him for 2 tries.
He didn't even get one.
Didn't even
No,
get
he
one.
just was being
He's
a good
too
bloke.
selfless.
Being a
You got to go
great
try
bloke.
assist with Turbo.
I will now.
Yeah, so that's a good point.
He's a selfless
It's a
man.
really good point. My on report is the fact that no text was made to go, hey, Garts, you should get onto my multi.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I put it in the WhatsApp.
No, you just said,
You
I
thought
won.
wrong.
Well, you know what happened? So, let me tell you.
Okay.
I've
Let me
got
tell
a
you
lot of
something.
WhatsApp groups I'm in.
Oh, he's going to pull
And
the
then-
popularity
Wow.
card.
The boys have put me in another WhatsApp group for that one.
What?
Yeah, it's like...
Sorry,
people
have we
who
been
win.
cut out?
Yeah,
Have
people
we
who
been
win.
cut out?
It's Woods' same game multi with 3 people in it, and you are not the other 2.
That's outrageous.
Excuse me, points about we need to be on that. What's that?
I need the money.
But you know the problem is...
Actually, we don't need to.
I'll put a lot of pressure on myself now, and
Yeah.
I'm going to just go this weekend.
We
I
don't
reckon.
need to because we're about to get your tips right now.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, I'm going to write this down.
what
What do you got?
So which game am I going to pick this week?
yes,
Or-
which game are you going to go?
I'm going to go the Parramatta and West Tigers.
And would you back it?
I've backed Para. I reckon they're going to bounce back after what happened last week. It's the bounce back factor.
Yeah, okay.
Jason Rolls
Yeah.
went down to his old club, Melbourne Storm, who was assistant coach at. Let's just say the boys did not deliver.
Okay.
So they're coming back to Combank this weekend. First home I reckon they're going to win with Dylan Brown scoring a try. I think now he's made the decision. He looked like he was a kid with a lot of things weighing on his mind on the weekend. It looked like he just, not that he didn't want to be there, but been in situations before. It's a lot hard when you've got so many distractions.
Well, he's still got a renege clause, so I don't reckon it's completely
Well,
weighed
10
off his
days.
shoulders.
10 days.
Yeah, well, it's
The
not off
cooling
his
off.
shoulders yet.
The cooling
they,
off.
If they win handsomely, does he reconsider?
Not at all.
Not for that money.
I think he's happy with 1.3 for 10 years.
Yeah, but that's a lot of pressure on him to go to Newcastle with that sort of money, and people being like, "Well, you better fucking win us a comp."
Yeah.
Like it's a lot.
But you know what? I
pressure-
don't think we're expecting him to win a comp.
we did that when Ponga went there. Everyone's like, he needs to win him a comp.
But
And-
everyone's saying you're going to Newcastle to just get your money now. Like they're not. No one's sort of saying you're
That's
going to win a
actually
comp.
true.
There.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's not going. It's not like he's going to Roosters and say we're definitely going to win a comp with Dylan Brown.
Yeah.
And
We're
then
going off topic. Let's go.
And then Taruva to score for the West Tigers.
Okay, so let's summarise it.
So I've got Para head to head, Dylan Brown to score, and Taruva to score. Because Taruva, when he was at Penrith, averaged 2 tries against Parramatta.
Okay.
But I know that was with Penrith.
Yeah.
But I think he's due.
Appy's back though, yeah.
Appy's back.
pretty much
Jerome Buller's back as well.
It's pretty much the
Fullback.
Penrith team.
Well, we are using a great new app which is launched as well too. It is called StatMate. So if you don't have it already,
Yes.
download it because the stats for this game, thanks to the guys there, is Zach Lomax has scored a try in all of his last 4 matches versus the West Tigers, including both matches last year, 3 tries in round 14 and 1 try in round 6.
Wow.
Also, Jake Targo has scored a try in all of his last 3 games at Combank Stadium, so he doesn't mind the old Combank. Playing for a new team this year, but Sunia Taruva enjoyed coming up against the Eels last season, scoring a double in both of the matches.
My man.
So that's thanks to our mates at StatMate. As I said, download that app. Now, I know you didn't have a good week last week.
I'm just going to simplify.
Let's go. Come on.
Okay, all right. I'm obviously going to stick with Manly. I'm going to stick with Manly 1 to 12.
Who they playing?
They're playing the Warriors.
Over in New Zealand.
Every
that
time,
scares me. That scares me over there.
Yeah, look, we've had a few close finishes. We had a draw last year. Was it 22 all?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the year or two before that, it's like a 2 point or 1 point
Yep.
or whatever.
Yeah.
That's pretty close over there. So I'm going 1 to 12.
They're a different beast, New Zealand.
I know. I'm nervous. I'm going to be nervous all week about
Yep.
it. 1 to 12.
Yep.
I'm going to pick Tommy again because I think he'd be itching.
You haven't learnt.
I'm going to go 1 try.
What about try 6?
What did that try sis?
He'd already written down.
I'm on all.
Because if he gets the try and
I'm going for
Yeah.
the gravy.
Yeah.
I want the gravy.
Gravy
And
train,
Sabi
baby.
to score. Little Bow Wow to score 1.
yeah, what about his hairstyle? Looking good, Sabi.
Little Bow Wow.
Looking good too.
he does look good.
Looking fast.
He looks fit. He can't turn.
Does it,
He's
it
like
gives more
Zoolander.
emphasis. I'm not even saying it anymore.
Emphasis.
Yeah, emphasis. Is that a word I can't say?
I
No,
can't
got
say
it.
a lot of words.
Okay,
Don't
yeah.
worry.
I haven't tallied that up.
Should make you feel normal.
Do you
in
have
here.
a price on yours?
No, I didn't have a price on mine actually.
Oh, we'll need the,
We might get up on the screen.
Yeah,
Get it up on the
bet.
screen.
Go down
yeah.
on the bottom of the screen for the price of that one. And again, thanks to our mates at StatMate. They've given us a few more stats if you're interested.
Mate, you've
as
got
well.
to use that, mate. I love it.
I love it. I've
been
been
so
getting
good.
well into it.
I got Sabi out of there because I thought.
Is that where you got it from?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
I thought because I was just going to go real safe with just Tom to get 1.
Can I, after watching round 1, I've got a good stat for you.
Okay.
Well, not a stat, but I've got a good bet for you.
I'm none from 2. Yeah, great.
and I, you know what? I picked it last week on my call as well. I haven't picked it yet, but I'm going with it. Sabi to be top try scorer
For the year.
for the year. I just like what I saw from Manly on the weekend. Tommy Turbo.
What do you do when Talau's fit, though? He's been named this week as not in the 19.
I just think Sabi's got pace that no one else in the competition's got.
Yeah.
That's what it's a great headache for Siebes.
Well, it's good to find that
He's
depth.
also no
Yes.
good at drawing pass, so he'll definitely go himself.
Well, just back your pace.
Yeah, he's fucking fast, isn't
Yeah.
he?
I remember you just do drills at training and I'm going 110% if I can go that
What was the
fast.
difference between these two?
And Sabi's going 40. And he's just blokes that just they run tippy toes. Just it was like
Prance.
I go, man, I wish I could.
It's like he's not even touching.
I used to always go to him like, hey, man, what's it like being fast? And he goes, oh, what do you mean? I was like, mate, you are so fast. I just love a day in your shoes. Love a game in open space.
Once he gets 30, 40 metres into open space,
mate.
he's
scary good.
unstoppable.
And he's looking good.
If there
with the
wasn't a
hair now,
grandstand
too.
there, he'd just keep running.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump style.
Yeah, he just goes
Forrest Gump.
straight
See, Sabi.
through. Yeah.
Well, the other stats on that one, Jason Scarb. Well, Jason Saab has scored a try in all of his last 5 matches versus the Warriors. Kurt Capewell has scored a try in 3 of his last 5 matches, including 1 versus Canberra in round 1. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck has not scored a try versus Manly in their last 5 meetings, maybe 1 to avoid there.
Wow, yeah, I'd stay away from that one. Especially, I just don't know if they know how to use Roger yet. They're using him as a battering ram.
Yeah, okay.
So he had about 21 hit-ups in the Vegas round, and they were all from his own end of the field. You just need to find a way of just getting him one-on-one with the defender.
Yeah.
And he is like a nightmare when you get... Mate, you've seen him step off both feet. Crazy.
Unbelievable.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
He is unbelievable.
Well, what other games are you looking forward to this week?
What did I have here? I was actually same with Woodsy. I wanted to see how the Tigers go again against Para.
Yeah.
I mean, you're back in Para to bounce back. I'm not. I think it's too soon.
Yep. Really?
And I think with Appy back, I'm going to get my hopes up for them to play well. I really want to see them
I just
put
like
together a decent performance and win a game.
I just like the inclusion of Ryan Madison, and they've got a young Kidione Katunga. He was from the Bulldogs. And speaking to Mitchell, he's going to be their back rower, which pushes Jack Williams back to the middle. Mm-hmm. And I think it just works so much better with their system and the way they want to play. They got really good leg speed through the middle, and they sort of lacked a couple of, because they had Jack on the edge, Hopgood, and then you can probably maybe push Junior Paulo back to the bench and just give a little bit of second dimension off there. But it's a huge game already. It's round 2.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it's going to be pressure mounting on one of the sides that loses, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was sort of keeping an eye on Lomax and his defence the other day, and he seemed a bit out of character. It wasn't.
That could be frustration too.
Yeah.
And you're playing with guys you look at a couple of players that he played with. They were kids. You're going down to Melbourne Melbourne round
you're
1.
never gonna win that
I think Craig Bellingham's won 22 or 23 straight.
Yeah,
that
first
is a
game.
daunting task. And you're
23,
going, and there's a lot of chatter around it. So you're basically thinking, are we just another number? So I think they've got that over and done with. I think Riles would have been happy. No injuries from that game, no suspensions. Let's just move straight to CommBank.
Yeah. Look, I'm excited. I want to see. I want to see the Tigers win one, and I want to see the Para's comment sections in their social media after they lose it.
I'm looking forward to the Raiders and Broncos. I think that's going to be a really good game.
That's out at GIO, isn't it?
Yeah, GIO Stadium. But I'm surprised that Raiders are $2.30, Broncos are $1.60. I would have thought that would have been a bit tighter.
Yeah, I thought Broncos, it's the way that they played. Madge obviously worked with Canberra Raiders, assistant coach down there, and he got the job. You got to be really I was a little bit surprised with Canberra, but mate, the way they played, I'm liking what they're doing this year. And I said, I sort of not tip them to have the spoon, but tip them down to be that end of the field in the ladder. But I honestly think they can be pushing for top 8 spot.
They're a young side
mate,
too.
they're fast.
Yeah.
They're back 5. Wow. If they make a break, they're similar to Manly. You make a line break, there's going to be a try.
Yeah.
And then one of my favourite, Timoko. Geez, he's just a tackle buster. He just breaks tackles for fun. It's so good to watch him play.
They've got a few outs. They've got Xavier Savage is out.
Yeah, he's suspended.
And
Tuppeny
Tuppany's
Yeah, that's
suspended
probably
as
why
well.
they probably drifted a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You know what game I'm actually looking forward to?
Which one?
And I was just looking at the odds. It's the Sharks and the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was the
I
second
can't
one.
believe the Cowboys are only $2.
Yeah.
But I think they'll bounce back.
Yeah, you're a big fan of Cowboys at home.
At home, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough ask. And the Sharks have had 2 weeks off. They've travelled to Vegas.
course, yeah.
They've come back home. They've got to travel again. Look, I think Sharks probably deserve to go in as favourites. Like they're a top 4 side. But, geez, the week that the Cowboys, there's nothing worse than coming off a 50-point loss. You wish you could play the next day.
Well, Peyton lined it up in at the sheds after. I think it was a quote that he put in the paper. He's like, I asked all the boys a question. I told them I didn't want the answer then, but I would see them on Tuesday for training, and that's when the work begins.
I'll tell you what,
I'd be really interested to know
there's
what that
nothing
question
worse
was.
than when you get pumped and then you got to fly and travel, and then you see the coach, like you're sitting there waiting for the flight. It's like, oh, hey, Toddy.
And he's giving you the I'm not
Hey,
angry, I'm just
hey,
disappointed
how you
question
going,
too.
Toddy?
Sounds like
And
my
then
wife.
they go, oh, did you watch the game last night? Yeah, I watched it back already. Wish I didn't.
Oh, it's brutal. He must be under some pressure too if he doesn't win a couple of games.
Yeah, and you got to look at their draw. I was looking at it the other night. They got Penrith. They've got Brisbane.
Oh, yuck.
I think Brisbane next week. Then they got
Yuck.
Penrith, and I think maybe
At
the
home?
Storm as well.
Well, they're
Well, it's a
Suncorp.
derby, so they're the
Yeah.
great games to watch.
Yeah.
But they've
That'll
like,
be a really good game.
and there's a lot of talk. They could be 0-5. Like that's how tough their draw is.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the last thing that Toddy Payton needs up there at the moment.
Oh, that's tough. Isn't it?
What about Flano down at the Dragons? Thoughts on...
I thought that was a great game of footy to watch. I thought, like, if you're looking at physicality, it was one of the toughest games around. The Bulldogs, geez, they defend well.
Yeah.
And they defend together in their system. Like, they were,
There's like 4 or 5 people in every tackle.
and they work so fast off the ground. Like, kick out, I don't like how he shaved his mullet. The mohawk, sorry.
And
I like
Matt-
the white mohawk.
Matt Burton, Matt Bearden.
Would you want to give him a
I
call
want
and
back
tell him?
kicks. Come on, man. Like, that's one I like. That's scary, man.
He's all business now.
outrage.
He's and also Matt Bearden with his beard.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What's
I was
doing?
like, who's this bloke?
No, it's a different
Were
look,
you just
isn't it?
like saying like swapping beard questions? Or?
I don't know if it's a fully grown beard, but is it? Like
It's the immature beard
he's
where it
got the
doesn't
old
match
patchy,
up.
like
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
like
more-
that's what mine would look like.
You know what I used to say to blokes I used to play with? I got more hair on, you know what, than your face.
This is as he's running around the oval doing his moody
Oh, yeah,
run.
isn't
But
it?
that,
Yeah.
like the Bulldogs,
Yeah.
they were impressive. They got to what 28-10. They just shut up. They were cruising. Obviously, Dragons come back, but geez, I think the Bulldogs are a real deal again. Yeah.
Well, it brings me on to my next segment, which I think needs to stick weekly, is putting someone on report for the week. Not because they've done a high tackle or anything that outlandish, but there was someone from the Dragons, which
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think gets 3 points for
I,
on report.
I played with him at Manly. Christian Tuapolo. Come on, brother.
Explain
He's
it for
a-
everyone
he's
at
really
home.
soft
For everyone at
spoken.
home,
So-
just in case you missed it.
Also, I wanted to. So, mind you, before we go into what he did, this is a quietly soft-spoken guy.
Yeah.
Great fella, absolute champion. One of the ones that all the boys love. You're down. I think it was 28-10. You've already got 1 try under your name. He gets a second try when basically the game is out of reach. And he does the old ching and showing like,
Make
give me
it
the money, give me
rain
the
and
money.
the
But you know what?
paper.
I know he's on report, but he's trying to lift his teammates. But at least let your teammates celebrate with you. He was just running away from him and
But
just
he
go.
did it twice.
Just got
He
caught
did
up
it
in
for
the
2.
moment.
It was like once off, and in my head I was
Right.
like, "What was he paying to score? Is he mates on it?" And they've like got some
I
good
actually
money,
had-
which I shouldn't say stuff
had
like
some
that.
mates
But
go, what's this bloke? What's
Maybe
he
he's
doing?
trying to rebrand.
there's
himself.
just I had so many questions. It was so confusing. Like if you're gloating,
Was he
do it when the
concussed?
scores is different. Yeah, was there
Did he
a
have
HIA?
Did he
Hey.
score 3 tries, eh?
He did score.
Yeah,
that,
one
was
was
his second, that was
disallowed.
his second
Yeah.
What
one.
did he do after the third one?
I think,
No, so he first one was disallowed. Second
but
one with
the
the 2.
first one was a penalty try.
That's right.
Yeah. I reckon when he got in at full time, I know Shane Flanagan
There's no
very
way
well,
Flano allows for that.
and I reckon he probably wouldn't have said something to him that day, but I reckon after review, CT, just come in my office for a little bit.
Yeah, the boys would be taking the piss out of him, surely.
Oh, that'd
Well,
be
not
on,
even
that'd
the
be my
peers, but
review.
Flano's pretty like when he's serious, he's serious.
Yeah.
and
No, but-
when you lose, that's not the kind
If
of
they had
player
won
he
that
wants.
game, Flano would have made a joke of it, but
Yeah,
let's
because
just say,
he's got a no dickhead policy, doesn't he, Flano?
yeah, but he's a dickhead himself. I'm joking. I
No,
love
he's a
Flano. He's a
legend.
good player.
Yeah.
He's a champion. But he would have pulled him.
Yeah.
Pulled him in.
I think you got
He would
to.
have put him on
like-
report.
Yeah, I think you got to. Like, I think if you're winning the game, great. Look, if he's trying to pump the crowd up, there's other ways you could have done that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a bit like.
I think if
if
it's a
you're
bit
like, come
closer.
on, like try and bring the boys up, then yeah. But like,
But you know what? It did lift them up. They got back
It
to
did,
28-20.
yeah, true.
But did the Bulldogs just sort of shut up shop a little bit?
Yeah, I think they shut up shop.
Yeah.
And like,
The canteen
if I was
was
a
closed.
Dragons fan, I'd be a little bit disappointed. I mean, I feel like they recruited well.
Yeah.
I was expecting more from them. The Bulldogs were great.
I
Their
think-
defense was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And obviously, once they get going, they're actually a really entertaining team to watch. They kick out, similar to Olakawatu, you
Yeah.
let him loose on the edge.
Oh, yeah,
You want to
scary.
see that every round. You want to see him do that every round.
They just lack middlesmen, Dragons. Like, Francis Moller's going through whatever he's going through at the club at the moment.
Yeah.
We don't know what he's doing. There's talk Dave Clemmer could be going there. You know, they signed Emre Goulet from Canberra just before the trials.
Yeah.
And they lost Couchman for the season with an ACL injury
Oh, that's
off the
right. I
bench.
forgot about that.
Yeah, I think Blake Laurie's back this week.
Yeah.
So that'll be a bit of a boost for him. He's a genuine front row. But yeah, just that's probably the one position they lack a little bit striking.
And with the talk of Clemmer going over there, like, is it just a band-aid fit, or is it like?
I don't know if it's 1 year or 2 years, but it's a bigger body.
He's a big guy, right?
He's a big body,
guy,
yeah.
and when he's on. I get it. He's aggressive, but like
He's an angry man on the field.
He's
isn't he?
getting-
trains hard
He's
too.
so good.
Trains hard.
He
Trains
so
like he
good.
plays.
Yeah.
he is like how old
Elbows,
is he now?
knees.
Like,
Clem's 30, turning 31.
okay, he's got a few
He's still
years.
got, he's still got
I think
time.
what you get Clem for as well is what he does off the field. Like
Experience.
it's not that; it's how he prepares for a game. He shows the young blokes how to train hard,
Yeah.
and that's what you want. If you probably look at it, he could come off the bench. Flanner might have a certain role for him. Mate, you play 20 on, 20 off. That's it. Whereas probably the days of him playing 50, 60 minutes, are you cut him down, and that's your role for the team.
Yep.
It's just how to show these young blokes how to be a first grader. We spoke about Galvin earlier in the
Yeah.
show. It's not just going out there and delivering on the weekend. It's about what you do throughout the week.
Yeah,
The DNA of the
Yeah,
club.
that's
As long
it.
as you're taking that culture and you
And he's a typical Shane Flanagan type player. No nonsense. Come in, work hard, piss off, have some fun.
has he played under him before anywhere, or like?
No, I don't think he's played with Flanagan. No,
okay.
no.
Be
I was
interesting
trying
to
to work
see.
out if Flano had been assistant coach with him, but he wasn't in with New South Wales.
No, he
was
was. And Flanagan was assistant at Dragons and Manly, and he wasn't there.
Yeah.
No. No, and he was assistant.
No, I wasn't sure if he came in
That
with
was
the
years
Blues.
ago. Nah, that was years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else on report for you this week?
The meat pie guy.
Oh, yes.
I'll
How
stick
can we
with
was
forget
Dragons.
the
doing
meat pie?
there?
It's another dragon
I
situation.
know, they're having a shocking week. Look, for me, if you throw a meat pie at your mate, I'm all for it.
Right.
I think
scalding hot meat pie.
Yeah, I think if you're throwing a hot pie at the opposition, it says more about you than it does the opposition, right?
True.
And it was so funny that the police got involved because it's if you're on the hill, right, and you hit someone with a beer can, it's all good fun. Yeah. But you hit someone with a meat pie, it's
goose-
everywhere.
But the Goose has filmed it beforehand.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and the throw. Worse
It was
than-
very
It was
Drake-like.
very Drake-like. It was very like he was like,
He wanted to, but didn't want to.
his mates were going like, you fucking better.
Can I say something about? Imagine the roles were. Imagine it was a Bulldogs fan
I'll be uproar.
doing it to a Dragons.
Yeah.
They would want every Bulldogs fan banned.
Oh yeah.
That's what I feel sorry for in this.
Are you saying that
instance.
it's not like it's clubism, not racism?
Yeah,
it's
clubism.
Clubism.
Clubism? Is it?
Yeah, I think you're right. If it was
That's what I feel
the
sorry for the
Bulldogs,
Bulldogs.
Yeah.
They got a bad
it'd be-
reputation, but they're just
Yeah.
so passionate fans.
Yeah, and I thought like it's just a dumb
It's a shit
move.
go.
But
It's
is
a
it like
shit
there
go.
wasn't a blow up afterwards, which I was really
Well,
surprised
but you know
at.
what? He filmed the guy walking back, and he goes, "Oh, you threw a pie at me." Like
Yeah.
that's just.
What did you
But
achieve?
that's what I mean.
That's not what we want here.
No.
There's a few things. You lost the game. You threw a meat pie at
Yeah.
someone, and then your own club called you a dickhead. You're on report.
Yeah. You're on report.
See, what, can I have a report from the Vegas?
Oh, absolutely.
The bloke blowing the
Oh, the Viking horn.
yeah. So
got
the,
tasered, right?
yeah. So you know what? I know it's rugby league, but he got rugby league drunk,
Yeah.
and he could not handle it.
He beat up the.
He could not handle it.
Talk to me what happened, because all we heard in the paper, I don't know if you know any more about
you would
it,
have more
was
than me.
that apparently a toilet was destroyed and he was tasered.
And apparently, next thing you know, zzz, getting tasered,
Yeah.
the big
Yeah.
fella.
The toilet was destroyed, and the inside of his nostril was too, and then he got tasered.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to rugby
He
league, brother.
must have he must have.
But it was,
he must have
wasn't it
just kicked
before
off.
like kickoff or something?
No,
Well, there was 4 games.
Well, yeah,
It was before one of
sorry.
the
It was
games.
before one of the other kickoffs.
Yeah, I think it was after his. Obviously, had to be after because he blew
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Viking horn.
That
But
a breathalyzer.
I just thought it was great, like just getting the Americans in behind rugby league, and he really took advantage of
Just
it.
showing
Good
that
on
they
him.
might be able to do better entertainment at games, but we do the entertaining
Exactly
better.
right.
I love
Yeah.
how
So,
he got
hey, big
tasered.
fella.
Sums
You're on
up
report.
Sums up a great trip getting tasered.
I love it. All right. Well, that basically wraps up our show. A huge thank you to Aaron Woods and also Ash Wicks.
you.
We're going to be back weekly. Obviously, some dad humour, some footy innuendo, some footy stats. And I'm just here to sew the pieces together. If you do also love your sport as well too, we do have a great AFL show happening as well too. Daisy Dale Thompson, we've got Tommy Sheridan, and of course Mitchie Wallace. They're out on their show as well too. So check it out. Is Oz American Aces, and we're going to be back weekly throughout the year.